Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everyone. My name's Emily Cheng and welcome to ExploRN EmCheng. Today I'm going to talk about travel nursing and give you the lowdown. And yes, for those of you that have noticed, I did cut my hair. Thank you so much for noticing. I donated my hair to Pantene's Beautiful Lengths a couple weeks ago, and I did throw in a couple highlights as well. You know, just gotta keep looking good. For those who are going through chemotherapy treatment for cancer, they lose their hair, and hair is a pretty big part of our identity and how we see ourselves and confidence in ourselves. So if I can do this tiny little bit by just cutting off my hair and providing that hair to become a wig for someone else and for them to have that beauty and confidence back in themselves when they're going through such a hard time, it's a no-brainer for me. For those of you who haven't subscribed to my channel yet, what are you waiting for? Seriously. What are you waiting for? So what exactly is travel nursing? A travel nurse is a short-term contracted nurse who is hired through an agency to work in a facility or a hospital due to some kind of nursing crisis or shortage. So the typical assignment is about 13 weeks, give or take. They could be anywhere from 8 weeks to 26 weeks. So my first assignment was 8 weeks in Napa, and then my current assignment here in San Francisco is 26 weeks. However, hospitals will give you the opportunity to extend if they like you and they think you're doing a good job. So there are a lot of reasons why a hospital or a facility may have this nursing crisis. It could be because of EMR conversion, it could be because the nurses are going on strike, it could be because there are unsafe environments for the nurses to work in, it could be because of poor management. For whatever reason, there's a nursing shortage, and that's why they need travel nurses and for you to come to their facility. So I know what you're thinking, why would facilities choose to hire a travel nurse versus a staff nurse? So the biggest reason why is because travel nurses are hired on a very quick basis, and we're literally like an ASAP fill-in, whereas a staff nurse can take a couple months to hire and to orient. So as a travel nurse, the agency puts together this profile that they present to the hospital manager or the HR department. So they put together your skills, they put together your certifications, your qualifications, and your experience, and then the hiring manager or the HR department can just quickly look through and decide whether you're a good fit for the unit or the hospital. Also, orientation as a travel nurse is much shorter than a staff nurse. Orientation for a travel nurse is as short as a couple hours to maybe a week and a couple days, and a staff nurse's orientation is usually a couple weeks to a couple months. I can't stress enough how important it is for you to be comfortable with your knowledge and skills before you even consider to do travel nursing, and everyone always wants to leave with the minimum amount of experience. However, success in travel nursing, in the nursing part of travel nursing, is making sure that you have enough confidence in your nursing skills and your knowledge to be able to really adapt quickly to the environment and the patient population that you're treating. And that's what the facility is hiring you for. That is what they expect of you as well. You can be a travel nurse domestically here in the United States or internationally. I have not looked into international travel nursing yet, so please don't ask me because I don't know anything about it yet. I just know that it's possible. I also know that travel nursing in other countries are very different than here in the United States, and I know that here in the United States our roles and responsibilities are more vast than those in other countries. You can even go travel nursing in Guam or Puerto Rico, which is super awesome because in addition to the 50 states, you can also go to those U.S. territories. So now that we know a little bit more about what a travel nurse is, how do you even become one? First things first on the real estate. No, I'm just kidding. So the first thing that you need to have is your RN license. So this means that you have to take the NCLEX, which is the National Licensing Exam, to become a registered nurse. Thank God this is a national exam because you do not need to retake it in every single state that you want to work in. So depending on whether you're a compact state or a not compact state determines whether you need to keep applying for all the states that you want to work in for their licensing. Basically, if you're in a compact state, there are certain states that are contracted, or I don't know the correct term, but there are certain states where if you have a license in one of those states, you don't have to keep applying to the other states' licenses. You can just use your home license and work in those different states. New York and California, I know for sure, are not compact states, so for every state that I want to work in, I have to reapply and get those licenses in each state that I want to work in. So usually you just go on the Board of Nursing's website for each state and you apply on there. It's usually an online application. I haven't applied for any written applications. Pretty sure they're all online now. And every state has different requirements, but it's like usually basic information such as your name and your citizenship and your address and things like that. There's also, of course, a fee. Many fees usually, but usually there's an application fee, and then sometimes there's other fees such as your licensing verification. So there's different services and stuff that will verify your license online, and the state can check that that you do have an active license here in the United States. So the good thing about all these financial needs for travel nursing is that most agencies will reimburse you for what you put out up front for all the licensing and everything, as long as you end up working and taking an assignment in that state that you applied for. So fingerprinting is a really big process. Usually for fingerprinting, it could be either electronic or it could be like a paper fingerprint card that you have to get from the state. There's a whole big process. Every state is different. Just follow the instructions that they give you. But I would say that fingerprinting is usually the most tedious and annoying thing to do. For example, California requires you to get the fingerprint card from them. So usually, depending on the state, you either have to pay for the card online and then they'll mail it to you, or they'll mail it to you when you apply for the license. And then you have to go to a local police precinct and you have to get fingerprinted there. However, states like Oregon, for example, they did an electronic fingerprinting process, so I was able to go to a center that did online or computer fingerprinting. I don't know why each state doesn't do this, because it's so much easier than sending in like a card and making sure that the fingerprinting is good. So I would say do your research before you want to work in that state to see how long it takes for you to get that license, because you want to make sure you give enough time for the license to come in before you want to start working in that state. You need to have at least 1 to 2 years of experience in the specialty that you want to travel in. So whether that's ICU, ER, L&D, tele, OR, whatever it is, again, you really need to be confident in your skills and your knowledge. So that's why experience really plays a key role in this. And you really want to be able to excel as a travel nurse. So experience is really, really important. Now, credentialing is pretty standardized in terms of nurses needing BLS and also PALS if you work with kids, and then ACLS if you're working in tele or ICU. And certifications, in my opinion, will make you a better candidate for the position you're applying for when the manager is comparing applicants to see who is a stronger and better fit for their unit. If you're certified in a specialty, they're much more likely to choose you over someone who doesn't have that certification. So for example, I got my CCRN and also my CSE. So CCRN is a critical care certification that critical care nurses who work in the ICUs can take. And then I also got my CSE, which is the cardiac surgery certification, and since I work in CVICU, you are allowed to sit for that exam as well. And I made sure to get those certifications before I started doing travel nursing because I knew that it would make me stand out as an applicant. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what I call winning. So once you have all your credentialing and your requirements down pat, you are ready to be a travel nurse. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really, really appreciate everyone who's taken their time out of their day to watch this video and learn a little bit more about travel nursing, and hopefully it's planted the seed in your brain to give you the motivation and inspiration to become a travel nurse. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you know when the new videos come out, and also be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and also shoot me a comment down below if you have any other questions or topics you want me to cover about travel nursing, because there's a lot of information that's coming right at you very, very soon, my friends. I'll see you guys in the next video, and let's go exploring.